Hello and welcome to the Gadgets and Gizmos show. On Headlines today, I'm Siddhartha Sharma. And we've got some of the most interesting smartphone reviews and news stories from the world of technology lined up for you guys on this episode. But before we move ahead, let's tell you what's our lineup for this week. On the show this week, a smartphone that charges really fast. Touch and type smartphones are back. And a chance for you to become a maverick. Alright, that's our lineup on the show, and first up what we've got for you guys is the review of the all-new Oppo Find 7. Yes, the company is called Oppo, but before we get you a full review of the Find 7, let's tell you what the specs on this new smartphone are like.
Oppo Find 7 sports a 5.5-inch multi-touch capacitive screen with display resolution of 1440 by 2560 pixels and a pixel density of 538 ppi. It is powered by a 2.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 quad-core processor backed by 3 GB RAM. For gaming, it offers an Adreno 330 GPU. The primary camera on the Find 7 is 13 megapixels with Sony Exmor IMX214 BSI sensor and dual LED flash. There's also a 5 megapixels front-facing camera. Built-in storage of 32 GB is expandable up to 128 GB. Find 7 has a Lithium Pro battery of 3000 mAh with rapid VOOC charge technology. Oppo Find 7 is priced at 37,990 rupees.
Okay, let's begin by telling you whether the Oppo Find 7 is worth it or not. Let's begin by the design of it. It's got a simplistic design to it, clear-cut lines, and of course, it's got a tall order to it. It's got a huge 5.5-inch screen up front, just enough to not be called a phablet but a smartphone. So that way it is safe in that area. Of course, it's not a lightweight phone at 171 grams, grips well, and at the back you get this intricate mesh texture which looks premium, feels premium, otherwise it's just a polycarbonate shell overall. The other color on the all-new Oppo Find 7 gives a carbon fiber look and feel to it. All in all, the design is very simple, kept choco-block, looks like a chocolate bar, and you get these capacitive, touch buttons at the bottom of it, and you get your regular power button and volume rockers on each of the sides. So design-wise, this is pretty much about it. Now, Oppo Find 7 is a smartphone that brags of its display. It's got a 5.5-inch IPS QHD panel on it with a pixel resolution of 1440 by 2560 and a pixel density of 538 ppi. This is a clear screen, it's quite bright, a little reflective under the sunlight. Right now we are outdoors, and as you can see, it's quite reflective outdoors. But indoors, it's a very bright, neat display. It delivers crisp colors and great viewing experience, especially if you plan to watch some movies or sitcoms on this. This is one good display on the Oppo Find 7, and it's on the money as well. Now, Oppo Find 7 is powered by a 2.5 GHz quad-core processor. And this is the same Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor that is powering many high-end smartphones currently available in the market. So performance-wise, this does not lag. Be it gaming, be it multitasking, you throw anything at this phone and it delivers seamless performance. At no point of time the phone feels that it is under pressure, that you're making it work too hard to open apps or to render a few gaming graphics for yourself. On our benchmark test as well, it scores a high score of 34,515, which is as good as many top-of-the-line Android smartphones available in the market from Samsung, HTC, and even LG. So Oppo Find 7 in terms of performance delivers on the money. Now the primary camera on the Oppo Find 7 is a 13 megapixel camera with a dual tone LED. It comes with a wider than average f2.0 aperture to it, and of course, in addition to recording full HD videos, it also records 4K and of course 720p slow motion videos as well. The 13 megapixel camera seen on this one is better than many existing 13 megapixel cameras that we see on high-end smartphones these days. The image results in bright light are really superb, and even the low light results are not that grainy and distortion free as well. So in terms of camera, the Oppo Find 7 is on the money. But that's not even the best bit about it. The best bit about the Oppo Find 7 is that it's got an Ultra HD mode to it. You shoot an image, wait for about 5 seconds for the image to process, and you get 50 megapixels of detailed imaging. That's a smart trick done by Oppo over here. What they do in those 5 seconds is that they stitch 10 images together and give you that finesse, that detail with the camera, with the existing 13 megapixel camera on this one. It also has a front-facing camera for selfies, but that's just about average. The camera app is also very neat and simple with various scene and image selection modes to edit and post-process as well. Now when it comes to the battery on the all-new Oppo Find 7, it houses a 3000 milliampere lithium polymer battery inside the casing. So it's a non-removable battery over there and lasts you about a day. What's great about this smartphone is that if you're totally out of juice, all you have to do is just plug the smartphone into its charger for about 5 minutes and you get about 2 hours of talk time. Plug it for about 30 and you get 75% of charge on your battery. Now that happens because of a VOOC technology in it that gives it rapid charging. So that is one battery innovation that I really liked on the all-new Oppo Find 7. Now the Oppo Find 7 is a good high-end smartphone which is high on performance, good in terms of camera, and charges the battery really fast. But then again, it has some perception issues along with it as well, because it's a Chinese company after all that is manufacturing this smartphone, and Indians really don't take that well, do they? Finally, last but not the least, it's very difficult to find a Find 7 in the market. Overall, this is a good performing smartphone indeed.
Find 7.
Now, if you dream to become an Indian Air Force fighter pilot and need some practice before you sit in that cockpit and do some dogfighting yourself, our next story is very important for you. Indian Air Force recently launched their first ever official smartphone game, and it's called Guardians of the Skies.
In a first of its kind, the Indian Air Force has launched its new game, Guardians of the Skies, for Android operating systems. And the idea with this one is to showcase the might and strength of the Air Force in an attempt to reach out to the youth to consider the IAF as a challenging and an exhilarating career option.
The target group is, the mobile game targeted is from the age group of 13 to 22. And this primarily because these are the age group people who are currently hanging on with the smartphones, with all the games. And we decided to target these people so that we have quality people in the induction of officers.
Simulating experiences of a fighter pilot, Guardians of the Skies has top-notch graphics, thumping music, and aircraft such as Sukhoi 30 and MiG-29.
First and foremost, IAF has mandated that the gameplay should showcase what exactly the life as a combat pilot is. So there are two aspects to it. One, showcasing the aircraft of the Indian Air Force, and second is showing the actual way a pilot is actually supposed to face these missions in operational scenarios.
Basically, the user is allowed to live the life of an air officer virtually and is taken through air combat scenarios undertaken by the IAF in a manner that the player gets a having been there sensation. Developed by Delhi-based company Thair, the gaming app is now available for free download on Google Play Store. But iOS and Windows users will have to wait until the end of July to earn their wings. Guardians of the Skies will also be released in 2 phases. The first phase will have 1 training mission and 2 operational missions, while the second phase of the game, comprising 8 operational missions, will be released in October, coinciding with Air Force Day. But until then, suit up and get ready to become a maverick.
And with that, it's time for us to take a very small break on this episode. But you guys don't go anywhere because there's a lot more technology action coming your way on the other side.
Brought to you by Ansar University, spanning decades in education.